and so you just get a pork roast. And sometimes the best bits, the crispy bits. Anyway. Yeah, most of and today most of our food is beef because we get it cheap. Quarter cow, $700, and that's just the meat. But per pound, that's less than any beef you buy from the store, I think. Yeah, you want to go out and buy hamburger, that can be $5 today. And then what I tend to do is I'll buy the roasts and the steaks because $4 a pound for a New York strip. Yeah, absolutely, considering they're like $18 to $25 depending on where you buy them elsewhere. It's like, yeah, okay. Get them cheap. And also, I don't mind not using it as a roast or a strip or a steak or whatever. Recently, we've been doing sort of a beef tip pasta, creamy sauce. And I looked at it and said, well, that's a stroganoff without the all the fancy, all the fancy herbs and spices. But really nice. And I don't mind cutting up roasts and steaks for doing things like that. So we did that. We had we did put one of the roasts in the air fryer. We've got a French door air fryer, so it has a rotisserie attachment. So we did rotisserie beef, and that was really awesome. It doesn't make much of a mess either. We did put foil down on the drip pan because we weren't sure, but really, it's all the juices stayed inside. It was quite impressive, and Mrs. Osa's got a bunch of pre-mixed spice mix. Not spice mixes. Sort of rubbing things. So you've got the salt, the pepper, and a bunch of other flavors. Spray the roast with olive oil, rub that into the thing, leave it for an hour while the beef comes to room temperature, and then stick it on the rotisserie, and off it goes. And so that flavouring was really nice as well. She's got about 5 or 6 pre-mixed flavourings. I've got 5. So we sort of mix those up. I think one of hers is specifically a chicken. I wish I could remember what the technical word is for the little pots of stuff that... It's not a marinade, because I think a marinade's liquid. But anyway, it's stuff. It's flavourful stuff, and it adds to the flavour of whatever you're cooking. So we did that. I think we did that on Monday. And then we used the rest of we only used half of the steak because there's only 2 of us, so we don't need a significant amount of leftovers. There was a little bit, but then we used the other half for beef stew, and the leftovers went into the beef stew as well. and that was good. We had that yesterday and the day before. And then and what happened? So yeah, that's that all done. We've still got a couple of steaks in the fridge that need to be eaten soon. But most of our meals revolve somewhere around beef. We've got a cow on order. I'm kind of expecting the butchers to call us maybe Monday, but it's President's Day, so maybe Tuesday. But within the next few days, they'll call us to say, hey, you can come and pick your cow up. So we've been endeavouring to empty the freezers in the basement so there's enough room for a quarter of a cow down there. And then occasionally, if we go to Sam's Club, we'll buy a big pack of chicken or a big pack of pork chops or a big pack of chicken thighs or something like that. We get that home, split it up, and still not training good. And have them at other times. But I mean, that was the thing. Back when I lived alone, I didn't cook chicken because I'd never been taught how to cook chicken. And I didn't do pork very often because I didn't know how to cook pork. So if I went out to eat, I would eat chicken or pork. Sweet sour chicken, sweet sour pork. But I just eat either ready-made stuff at home or, hamburger, ground beef. One of the things I do miss, they had, in England, they did little packs. They're big enough for one person. And so you would get two, it was marketed as pepper steak, which basically it was kind of like a Salisbury steak. So it wasn't a steak cut, it was kind of ground beef put back together, kind of like a Salisbury steak, and then just coated with peppercorns. That was really nice. And, as a single man, great stuff. It came in a small pack. You stuck it in the freezer when you wanted to eat it. You got it out. You heated it up. You added potatoes and veg, and there you go. The other thing I did like over there was they used to do, well, they probably still do, little packets of fish fillets, a little square of fish with butter sauce, parsley sauce, cheese sauce, that type of thing. Stick it in a pan of boiling water. Put some rice in the water, put some peas in the water, and it would, heat up, and you basically had a small slab of fish with sauce on rice with peas. The fish came in a pouch with the sauce, so you throw that in water too, and it would just heat up by normal convective currents, and then once it was heated up, you just snipped the top off to get the fish and the sauce out. I have done something similar to that here. Mrs. Osa's not much of a fish eater, so she usually doesn't partake, but you can buy sort of packs of frozen, it's frozen cod, but the packs are sucked all the air out. I can't remember what that process is called either, but basically vacuum packed. So vacuum packed cod, and you can, I think you can microwave it. Seriously, I did not expect us to, I wasn't paying attention, I did not expect us to run out of seed. Well, guess we've got another trip to the store. How's about that? So yeah, vacuum packed fish, I think you bake it. So I'll stick it in the, obviously take the plastic off, stick it in the oven, bake it. And then there are some, for many years there have been British gravy packs, basically, a couple of spoons of stuff and I can, oh, it's him again. Sorry, distractions, squirrels. So anyway, yes, they used to just do sort of a beef gravy, a chicken gravy, or at least say, let's go back. You could get, a lot of the English importers would import beef gravy or chicken gravy. You can use chicken gravy on pork as well. More recently, they've brought over, what's the word for it? Onion gravy. And now you can get parsley sauce, cheese sauce, and peppercorn sauce, and curry sauce. So bought a few packs of those, so I can have, and a parsley sauce. I don't know if I said parsley sauce, but anyway, so I buy those. And when I'm in the mood for just a naked cod, I'll get the vacuum packed cod out from the freezer and eeny, meeny, miny, moe. That's not what I'm looking for. Cedars. That one. Yeah, there we go. I think we probably only need 2 more. I'm going to get 4. Hope I've got enough room for that. But if I don't, I'll have to come back with the truck. So yeah, I just, you boil the kettle, you mix in the powder, and hey, fish and cheese sauce, or fish and parsley sauce, or fish and peppercorn sauce, fish and curry sauce. I haven't tried the fish and curry sauce, must admit, but I've done the cheese and I've done some of the other things. And rice and peas, obviously. So that's all good fun. Taste of home. I'm probably never going back there. I have been following the, what was it, Epstein file fallout. And way back when, we need to release the Epstein files. We can't release the Epstein files. And it was looking like they're never going to release anything from that. And my assumption was there are so many political leaders around the world implicated. You were looking at pretty much every Western government collapsing if it ever came out. So I just said, we're never going to see anything from the Epstein files because entire countries' parliaments, political class will collapse overnight. Well, the British government is under a lot of pressure from the fallout from the Epstein files. Turns out a lot of them are interested in that sort of thing, dating all the way back to the 80s. And when Epstein came along, it's like, oh, look, we've got someone who'll supply us. And it's like, no. One of the MPs, well, I think an opposition MP in Britain, has done a 2-week in-depth investigation. And oh, the stuff that's coming out is just horrible. I would not suggest listening to it at all. It will break people. It is that bad. And then you know that, why are you not unfolding? There we go. Yeah, you know this crap happened. And just know. These people, locking them up is too good for them. They should bring back hanging, and it should be a public spectacle. Because nothing like this should ever have been allowed to happen. So British government, big problems. And everybody suspected it. It's just now the evidence is coming out. But even that said, I don't know. There are people that look at adults who involve children in things that children shouldn't be involved with. Let's put it that way. As absolutely reprehensible, and those adults should not be allowed in polite society, let alone government. And yet, these things have come out in the past, and it's sort of, this guy's guilty of doing a thing, and he's running for political office in this district. And it comes out, a couple of months before he's due to, the election happens, and he still gets elected. So obviously, the voters don't care. There are way too many voters who either stick their fingers in the ears, stick their heads in the ground and say, la, 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 I don't care, you're all lying about the person I'm going to vote for. Or, I don't, or they know about it and they still vote for them because, oh, it's my party. It's like, no, come on, people. This is not something that you want to endorse, and yet voters are so set in their ways, and the other party is the most evil thing in the world, and people in that party need to be executed. I'm going to forgive my guy from doing obscene things with children. It's like, yeah. And these are people where it's proven. It's not just, oh, Epstein was talking about them in an email. And, that's coming up as well, where, there's a couple of right-wing commentators who just come out and said, I'm in the Epstein files. Epstein hated my guts and wanted to destroy me, so he was talking to all his cronies about ways to get rid of me. It's like, you're in the Epstein files, and that's not evidence of any wrongdoing. That's just evidence that things were happening. It appears on the surface that a lot of the stuff Epstein did was purely for blackmail purposes. His underlying goal was to support one world government. whatever that entailed. He hated people who weren't Jews. So much so that in regular conversation, he used a word to describe non-Jews that is equivalent to using the N-word to describe black people. There are polite words to describe non-Jews, and he did not. He went out of his way to not use those polite words and used the offensive words. So obviously he didn't like Jews. When he was mixing with non-Jews, he was just mixing with non-Jews looking for ways to blackmail them so he could force them to do what he wanted them to do, or his controllers wanted them to do. But there's stuff coming out there that is